Hey girl, welcome to the It's a Girl Thing podcast. Whether you're new here, whether you've been here before, I'm going to still talk and we're going to still get to know each other. I'm Kate. I'm the host of this little podcast on our little corner of the internet, and I am so blessed to have made so many lovely friends through this podcast and connected so many, and I just think it's about time that we reintroduce ourselves. So the podcast is relaunching with new cover art, website, all these exciting things, which has been a long time coming. It's been almost a year and a half since we started this little journey. And wow, we've done a lot together. I do have some little notes on my laptop beside me. I'm not going to deny that, because your girl has so much going on in this brain that she can't remember everything. Firstly, I just want to say I'm so glad you're here. This episode is going to be about me, but not in a self-absorbed way, I hope. It's more like, let's catch up. I'll fill you in on the current me. The me that we're going to see more of moving forward, and not the me that we've necessarily seen all this way that we've had in the last year and a half. Because the me that I started this podcast as isn't necessarily the same as me now. And with all these changes, I was like, let's reintroduce myself. So who am I right now? Great question. I don't always have that answer. But good things to know are I'm 19, I'm from New Zealand, I'm in my second year of university, and I'm studying medical imaging, which for people who don't know is like x-ray, so taking photos of bones. I'm starting to finally feel a little bit more like me. I feel less attached to like my high school self, which I feel like anyone who's been in high school or who's in high school knows that it feels like the biggest part of your life, and it is a huge chunk of your life. But once you kind of like step out of there, you realize just how small yet big of a part it is. And so it's super exciting that I get to discover the me outside of high school. Honestly, I miss parts of high school and the girl I was then, but I'm really enjoying learning who I am now. I'm working on living with more kindness and sharing that with others, and just having a little bit more patience and a little bit more grace in the daily things. A little bit less criticism, especially to myself. Things that I love and things that I'm loving lately are, the more fun stuff. I love the TV show Big Bang Theory, and I have probably about 5 or 6 TV shows that I can just watch again and again and again, and I love them to pieces. But Big Bang has been my most recent one. But excuse Netflix, because they took it off right in the middle of my rewatch. Still disappointed, still a bit salty. Quite offended by that. Other shows are things like Gilmore Girls, Gossip Girl, Grey's Anatomy, Friends. Can't forget Friends. And there's so many more, but those are like, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but those are like my go-tos. So if you like any of those, we'll be friends, 100%. Also The Rookie, I say as it's literally on my TV. Rewatching at the moment, so that's exciting. I've been getting into more walking. I found that in lockdown, I did a lot of walking, and then all of a sudden I stopped after that, and I forgot how much I loved it. So I've been trying to do some more walking, get into the gym, and focus on just improving my health, and especially with all the time we spend on phones, spending some of it outside. Oh, confession time. I also thought important to note, I am a huge Harry Potter fan, but I'm especially deep in my Harry Potter fanfiction era at the moment. And if you know, you know, I just read Manacled for the first time. That's supposed to be a 30-hour read. I read it in 8. Your girl binged it. She was up till 4 a.m. Not good for my brain, but good for the soul. And it was so good. And talking more like cozy creative things that I enjoy, I've been in my hobby era recently. I've been doing a lot of knitting. I'm very, very recently trying some crochet, not succeeding so far. And I also love to make ribbon flowers. It's a random new hobby of mine, and I actually really love it. And I like being able to little bless people in that way. They're my little grandma energy vibes. I can be both boring, quiet, chaotic grandma, or I can be outgoing, crazy, whatever you want to make of me. So you'll get to see a bit of both. It all depends on the week, all depends on the day. Things that have changed me, because the past year or two hasn't been easy. It hasn't been perfect. It's messy, like we all know. And I lost my grandma and my cat back in 2023. And that was a huge, hit by a train moment. And that's kind of defined a lot of how I see emotions and a lot of the turning points that I've had in myself in the last couple of years. It taught me about grief, that it's not linear and that it's messy and it doesn't stop and it's imperfect. But it's also shown me how to have strength and patience with myself, and that the love you have is a gift, and that it's a blessing to feel grief because it means you loved so deeply. Well, I guess now we get on to why I actually started this podcast. And this is my why. Every day, you girls are the reason that I do this. I have kind of been always a little bit of a lonely kid. I'm an only child, so that does explain a lot. I've never had siblings around, no big sisters, and friendships are messy. I've had my fair share of best friends across the years, but none of them have quite stuck. And you never quite know who you can trust when it comes to friendships. You're like, well, if I tell you this, is it going to come back and bite me in the bum in 3 months? So that was a big thing for me, and I didn't necessarily feel like I had safe and honest friendships all my life, and I found it really hard to choose because of experiences I had. So really, this was a space that I felt I needed growing up, and I wanted to be that for those who had the same kind of feelings that I have. No matter your age, whether you're 13, whether you're 25, we all know the feeling of being alone and just needing to be heard and to be seen. I wanted authentic girl talk in a world where social media only shows the highlights. I wanted to remind you that there is beauty in the imperfections, and that messy struggles and pain don't equal a bad life. This space is for girls to feel like they're not alone, because I need that reminder. Why I'm relaunching? Basically, to sum up everything I've said until this point, I love what I'm doing, and I love the space that I've created, and I've connected with so many amazing people. But I don't necessarily connect with the girl I was back then. I'm not in high school anymore. I started this podcast just one random night. The idea came to me, and the next day I got everything up and running, and my first episode was released the day after that. It was all done on a whim. I never knew how long it was going to last. And so obviously I didn't put money and things into it, because broke high school students, who's got the money for that? But I've changed, and I know the podcast and this space is here to stay. So I wanted to invest into it and give you the best of me, and the best of me now, so that we can go deeper, be more honest with each other, and create an even better community. So if you've listened this far, I want to tell you a little bit about who I see this podcast being for. And I said it's for everyone, but this is the girl that I just envision, kind of like myself, but who I envision this podcast attracting most to. If you're the kind of girl who has big feelings, but doesn't always know where to put them, this podcast is for you. If you're tired of fake lives on social media and just want to be seen, this podcast is for you. If you need a safe space, this podcast is for you. I want you to feel like you're a part of something, so this podcast is for you. I want you to know that you are never alone, no matter what you're walking through. This podcast is for you. Thank you for being here, for showing up, for letting me share my life with you, and in turn getting to hear parts of your lives. Every time that one of you messages me or leaves a comment or likes something, I just feel so connected and knowing in myself that I'm not alone, and that somebody else knew they needed to hear this message. So I'm very excited to say that we're relaunching It's a Girl Thing with a whole new energy and a whole new life force behind it. So this space is just getting started, and I'm so excited you're here. Whether you're here from the beginning, or today is like your millionth day of listening to me yap, you are part of our girl gang. So welcome, follow along, join the squad, and let's get talking.